Gamescom Opening Night Live is shaping up to be an exciting show as we have a ton of confirmed appearances for big games and publishers. We also got new Ghost of Yotei gameplay, a Far Cry show that could be in the works, and way more. We'll tell you everything you need to know in this Sunday news roundup. And don't worry, you didn't click on the wrong channel, but Jordan's currently attending a festival, so this is Dennis standing in to take over the video for this week. And next week, it's of course time for Gamescom, starting with Opening Night Live that already has some exciting showcases planned. We'll get a brand new look at Resident Evil Requiem, one of my most anticipated upcoming games. And with there also being a playable demo on the show floor, I have a feeling we'll get to see much more of the actual gameplay than in that first reveal trailer. There's also a big upcoming announcement regarding Lord of the Fallen 2. At first we only got this mysterious artwork reveal titled Blood Will Spill on Jeff Keighley's Twitter account, but that later got reposted by the official Lords of the Fallen account to confirm it is related to a sequel for the 2023 Souls-like. The devs have been talking about the title for a while now, and considering how much Lords of the Fallen has improved since launch, I'm very curious as to what a full-blown sequel is going to look like. Ninja Gaiden 4 is making an appearance as well, which is already coming out on October 21st, so if you end up enjoying the trailer, you don't have to wait long for the full release. Also confirmed for the show is Honor of Kings World, an adventure RPG set in the Honor of Kings universe. In case you're not familiar, Honor of Kings is a very popular MOBA in China, and while World will be using familiar characters from that game, the gameplay will be completely different. Honor of Kings World will employ a class-based system where you can switch between two available classes on your character, so expect a wide range of skills and abilities to create custom builds with. No official release date for this one yet, but with a planned release window in 2025, there is a chance they'll reveal that during the show. And while I'm not expecting any announcement regarding the game, a nice intermezzo is the fact that we get to hear some of the amazing music from Claire Obscure played live during the show as well. Activision Blizzard is also preparing a huge showing as two big new titles from them will be featured during Opening Night Live. We'll get our first look at the opening cinematic for the new World of Warcraft expansion Midnight, and I think we can all agree that Blizzard cinematics are always top tier. So definitely something to look forward to even if you're not that interested in the game. And Call of Duty Black Ops 7 will also see its full reveal during the show, which will definitely have some extra eyes on it after the recent success of the Battlefield beta, as I think a lot of people are curious on how the two will compare. Also, are we up to 7 of these already? I still remember playing the first one when it came out. I am starting to feel old. We're also getting our first look at the second season of the Fallout show, and considering New Vegas was teased in the ending for season 1, I will be seated with popcorn at the ready for that one. New Vegas devs Obsidian will also make an appearance with Outer Worlds 2, their sci-fi RPG that's coming out on October 24th. And while I want everyone to keep their expectations in check, Black Myth Wukong is also confirmed to make an appearance during the opening show. Now to be fair, the Xbox release for the game is literally planned for the day after, so it would be very likely that it has something to do with that. But we do of course know a DLC is in development, and considering the Xbox release is the last thing we know they have in the works, that could mean it's time for a reveal, right? I think a teaser is possible at the very least. I mean, even the image they posted alongside the announcement contains some elements that I don't recognize from the game, so I can definitely see it happening here. Thanks to confirmations for Opening Night Live, we also know some exciting titles that will appear on the show floor, meaning people will actually be able to go hands-on with them. S-Game will be there with Phantom Blade Zero with a new demo build that's very likely the same one I got to play at their event in China. We'll link to that video in the description, but if you are at Gamescom, I highly recommend you go and check it out. I think it was awesome. I'm very jealous as well of everyone who is able to go hands-on with Hollow Knight Silksong, which is back from the dead and has a new demo prepared for the Gamescom show floor. The horror genre is also showing up big time as Resident Evil Requiem, Chronos, The New Dawn, Silent Hill F, and Reanimal will all be part of the event. As I already said, RE has me the most excited, but Reanimal is also looking very interesting as this sort of blend between Little Nightmares and Inside, which is of course no surprise considering developer Tarsier Studios was responsible for the first two Little Nightmares titles. Ubisoft also has something prepared for Gamescom specifically for The Division 2. There will be 2 panels for the game, with one going over the Battle for Brooklyn expansion that released this year, but the more interesting one is the second panel. It concerns The Division Resurgence, the upcoming mobile shooter, but more excitingly, it will also reveal more about the big Division 2 project that they've only just started teasing. I'm honestly surprised this game is still doing so well, and really cool to hear that they're still developing what sounds like another major new content drop. We also have some rumored appearances, as a now removed listing on Amazon makes people believe an official price announcement for the ROG Xbox Ally is imminent, and Gamescom would of course be a very nice stage to announce that on. We do know the handheld is playable at the event, so it's likely that they'll have more to show. show. And while it is definitely not confirmed, so take this next one with a grain of salt, we might also get to see a new LEGO Batman game. A LEGO Games news account has stated that the next LEGO game by TT Games is heavily rumored to be a movie-based Batman title that will span multiple movies across the Caped Crusader's career. They're also saying that it will be revealed at the opening night live. So it sounds like a Skywalker Saga-esque game for Batman, which really sounds cool, but I was not able to verify this leak with any other sources, so let's mark this as speculation for now. We also learned of something that won't be at Gamescom, and real quick, if you enjoyed the video so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as we do one of these weekly news roundups every Sunday. Now it's time for some quick shots, gaming news that I want to go over quickly, and we're sticking to the Gamescom theme as there is some news regarding Crimson Desert that came out this week. While the game will still be appearing at Gamescom with a new playable demo, we know for sure that we won't get a release date during the event. And that's because the game was actually delayed to Q1 2026, as we learned from a recent investor call. The reason for this delay is longer than expected timelines arising from schedule coordination and collaborations with multiple partners for offline distribution, voiceovers, console certification, and other launch preparations. So to sum that up, that mostly seems to be regarding scheduling issues, nothing going wrong with the actual game development side of things. While it still stings a bit considering how long we've already been waiting for Crimson Desert, it is a very ambitious title, so I want them to stick the landing and take all the time they need for it. The game will also be at PAX East and the Tokyo Game Show, so we might get to see an announcement there, but it sounds to me like this is a relatively recent decision, so they're still in the process of adjusting their timelines. We also got some new Ghost of Yotei gameplay, which shows the Yari spear in action, and I think it's looking really awesome. You have this running charge to impale an enemy, a wide sweeping attack, and this charged strike where Atsu uses the spear as a pole to kick and then leap at an enemy. And while we won't have access to the wind stance anymore, the Yari moveset also includes a kick that you can use to drop an enemy off a ledge. While I was originally a bit bummed that the stance system would not return, I'm definitely warming up to the new weapon-based system, especially now that we're seeing how varied these movesets all are. We got more Ubisoft news too regarding a potential upcoming Far Cry show. The news accidentally came from Ubisoft themselves as they posted a news article on their own website a bit too early. It has since been removed, but it contains some interesting early details about who's going to be involved in the project. The series is going to be in development at the network FX and is being co-created by Rob Mack and Noah Hawley. Mack is well known for his role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and has also worked on the game-related show Mythic Quest. Next to co-creating, he will also join the cast for the show, whereas Hawley, known for his work on Fargo and Alien Earth, will serve as the showrunner. So some pretty big names attached to the show, which makes sense considering Ubisoft has big plans for Far Cry. While the series has been quiet for a while, we know there are currently two big projects in the works, a new single-player game and a multiplayer-based extraction shooter. The latter has been rebooted earlier this year, according to reports from Insider Gaming, but both titles were originally planned to release in 2026. So even though there's not a lot of news right now, there are some very exciting things ahead for the Far Cry franchise. Unfortunately, there's also some sad news regarding Dragon Age, more specifically the chance that we'll get to see a remaster of the first three titles, so Origins 2 and Inquisition. Content creator MrMatty did an interview with BioWare veteran Mark Darrah where they spoke on the topic. We'll link to the full video in the description. But the main takeaway I want to talk about here is Darrah mentioning that EA were not looking to remake the older Dragon Age games in the style they did for the Mass Effect trilogy. According to Darrah, EA is not the biggest fan of remasters in general, which is a bit strange considering the company CEO also reported the Mass Effect remaster performed well above expectations. There's also the fact that all the Mass Effect games were made on the same engine, whereas Dragon Age eventually shifted over to Frostbite for Inquisition. So the process of making a remaster trilogy would have taken a lot more work than it did for ME, but I would have at least liked a remaster of Origins. Especially after the reception to Veilguard's art direction, I think a more dark and gritty Dragon Age game would have been a welcome change of pace, but as Darrah said, it's not likely that will ever happen. And this coming week, it's of course time for Gamescom. We will be live reacting to the opening night showcase, so check the link in the pinned comment if you'd like to join us for what is looking to be a pretty exciting show. PS Plus Extra and Premium owners also get a host of new games, including some pretty big hitters like Marvel Spider-Man and Mortal Kombat 1 and the really unique looking Sword of the Sea. And of course, at the end of the week, we'll be back with another one of these weekly news roundups. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss it, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and you can watch the previous Sunday vid by clicking on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.